Thanks for downloading another episode of The Ugly Truth. Or if it's your first time, welcome. You are now an honorary Ugg, or Hug as we like to say. We really appreciate you listening and supporting the show through our Amazon and Avon links at uglytruth.com. And now, without further ado, The Ugly Truth. It's another uncensored look at the world around you from sisters who will say just about anything to anyone at any time. It's the Uggs. Jamie.
You're just a monkey working for us.
Paula.
Fucking feel like it, you motherfucker!
Stephanie.
Delete that immediately.
Uncensored as always, it's time for The Ugly Truth.
Welcome to The Ugly Truth, everybody. It is episode 229. We have a special coughing guest with us today. Hey, there are 3 Uggs on the show today. Stephanie has come in because she had a day off, and so she scooted over, and so we're all together. So it's going to get a bit raucous. That's what I was going to say. So we start recording a little bit early so we can get our voices warmed up and so that we can make sure that we're all sounding good and Stephanie can hear and all that stuff. And so, Paula, before we get into the body of the show, we were talking about, I don't even know, how did poo come up?
Well, we were talking about our ugly and awkward moments.
Oh,
and
yes.
Sometimes, you know, it might
you got to dig into the vault.
It might be, it might be a slow week. And so you have to go back to, you know, the cuts.
The classics.
And I was thinking this week because I kept forgetting my actual ugly and awkward moment. And so I'm just I'm like, did I talk about the time where I had poo under my fingernail? And Stephanie's like, what?
Well, I assumed it was a child's.
No, it was not a child. It was a man's poop.
God, I mean, that just makes it so much worse to me.
I was driving back from the cheap motel to work and I
was this a long
noticed
time ago or something?
Of course.
What'd she say?
It was a long time ago.
Because you said I was going back to work, right?
Yes, this was a very long time ago.
Okay, well that explains a lot right there.
I realized that I looked down and I'm like, what is that? And because I'm just like, why is it just on my pinky? So
Not your middle finger?
No.
'Cause that's the longest. That's the longer finger.
God, you guys are killing me.
I was kind.
Wow, you were kind, because I'm never kind.
And I realized that I had at some point inserted my pinky finger up his butt. And I guess I got some remnants under my fingernail.
You know, the only thing that freaks me out about, well, I don't anymore, but I used to get my nails done. Like, well, you don't have your nails done right now. Is that whenever you do that, what if like a nail breaks off in their butt? Like, what if that would be horrifying to poop out? Oh, can you even imagine?
Yeah. Do you remember the days before children where condoms used to actually get stuck inside of you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. What? You've never had a condom like fall off and inside and you have to pull it out?
No. The only thing I ever had was, I think one time I forgot to take my tampon out.
Oh!
Have you ever done that?
No. I have not. I'm friends with the guy who told me this was his first girlfriend, and so they had lost their virginity together. So sometimes when that happens, you'll do literally anything because it's all new. And
Real Housewives of Orange County, they have a couple on there that married each other and they were virgins.
Are they like the kinkiest?
Filthy.
Yes. He pulled her tampon out. So he could have sex with her.
I had someone pull my tampon out because I couldn't find it.
And I'm like, you pulled her tampon out so you could have sex with her? He goes, yeah. I go, was she still in her period? He goes, yeah. And I'm like, okay, stop talking. I can't think about it any longer. That is so gross. Did you have a towel? And then of course I start thinking about all this. I'm like, was there a towel involved? Did you wrap it up and put it and throw it away? I'm like, what happened? He goes, no, I threw it on the ground. I'm like, okay, you're vile.
Whoa,
that is vile.
Gross. That's
He's like, we were passionate. We were in love. And I'm like, no.
Passionate about menstrual blood.
I go, how did she allow that and not go put that in the toilet? At least something. Right? No, but they were super duper young. You know how that goes.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't, but I'm sure that there are people who go, what are you talking about? That's no big deal. But yeah, I've definitely had that happen where when condoms were a necessity, which I hate so much. it would be over and they would be in there too long. So when you pull out, it's like, well, this was an utter waste of time because now if I get pregnant, it's not going to matter.
Right, so
Yeah, right.
Through all that.
Hate it.
What a mess.
Okay. So anyway, welcome to the show. It is the first week of October is coming and going, and it has been quite a week in the United States of America. We all know that we are not big fans of talking about current events in detail, but we are all obviously stunned, saddened, shocked, angered, all of the horrible things that everybody else in the world probably is feeling about this horrific mass murderer. It's a terrible thing. Mm-hmm. And we still don't know anything as of today, really.
We're gonna really find anything
I don't think
out,
we're
to be
going to find out
honest.
much. I think he was a psychopath his whole life. And as they dig into his life, it wouldn't be surprising to me if they found more murders or crimes as it goes. Because people it's funny. They always go, well, he just lived a very normal life. And I'm like, yeah, so did John Wayne Gacy. Yeah. So did all these other serial killers. True. He just happened to use this method as a dramatic ending.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's my theory on it. But other than that, what I've been noticing is all of the amazing stories that are coming out, all the men and women who helped each other. And I'm like, isn't that funny? Then they go, are you a Trump supporter? No, they didn't. They helped each other and they survived, and some did not, of course. But the good stories are people being Americans. This is what we do, So it's like, that's the part that I'm trying to glean from all of this, the positivity of humanity. When you strip away all the bullshit, we're still humans and we still help each other in this country. And that's the only thing I wanted to say about that. However, because Stephanie is here, I wanted to talk a little bit about Tom Petty.
I know, right?
Because I know you're a pretty big fan.
Huge.
I am a big fan, but not like you. And I know Paula appreciates and likes him too. So I thought we'd briefly talk about it. How many times did you see Tom Petty live, Stephanie?
At least 3, maybe 4.
I saw him once, and it was a wonderful experience, except I was with someone. It was a girlfriend, long time ago. And she only wanted to go to see the Black Crowes. The Black Crowes opened, and then she grew weary and wanted to leave. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? It's Tom Petty. Why would you want to leave for Tom Petty? So we actually separated, and she ended up going to party or drink or whatever in the back. And I stayed in the seats by myself and watched Tom Petty by myself. And it was one of the best experiences of my life. And I'm so grateful that I got to see him live. It's like seeing Prince live.
Yeah.
It's one of those experiences you don't forget. But
And I'm so bummed that I didn't get to see Prince. Who knew? Like, I didn't know he was going to die.
no one knows.
Finally, now I'm into the age where I can afford, expensive seats and see shows like that, and he croaks.
It's true. And it was funny because now, of course, I don't know about you guys, but I keep singing Tom Petty songs, all the time. I do like The Last Dance of Mary Jane.
I love that song.
That's your song. It's not my favorite, but I just remember the video, the Alice in Wonderland. Oh, no, that's Don't Come Around Here No More.
Yeah.
That's where the video is, where he works in the morgue and Kim Basinger's the dead girl.
Yeah.
And he steals her and takes her home, and then he dresses her up and puts makeup on her, and then
Creepy.
tries to have dinner with her and all these things. I don't know.
Yes.
It's weird, but I like
cool.
But all his videos were kind of weird, which
They
I
were.
liked about him.
It's true. But yeah, I do like Wildflowers, but Full Moon Fever was my absolute favorite album.
Full Moon Fever, I think, is in my CD player right now in
Yes.
my car. Yes, I still own
I love
it.
Yours So Bad. Oh, it's my favorite song I think one of my favorite songs. My sister got lucky, married a yuppie.
Yeah, that's
I just love it. Love it, love it, love it. So yeah, and what a sad thing. What a sad thing.
Well,
so,
yeah,
but he has a catalog that will live on forever, literally.
I think he was a victim of his own vices, even though he lived a relatively clean life those last few years. Mm-hmm. He smoked cigarettes.
Oh, was he a
That will kill
smoker?
you quick as shit, yeah. And
That's too bad.
He was a heroin addict 25 years ago.
I didn't know that.
Ever. But, I mean, he's been clean for a long time, too. But,
Sometimes the
that stuff
damage
does
is done.
damage. Yeah, it
These
does.
music, and who's still alive and kicking is who's that Rolling Stone? David.
Oh, God, he looks like the Walking Dead.
That guy's still living around, and then the Aerosmith guys.
They're old.
Yeah, they're old as fuck.
Oh, Steven Tyler and Mick Jagger.
Steven Tyler and his.
Well, Steven Tyler
Yes.
just had to cancel his tour.
I
because
know,
something's wrong.
but he's in his 70s. So, I mean, now he could have broken a hip for all we know. I mean, who knows with him? But I really like him, even though he looks like an old woman.
I think we're going to find that there's going to be a series of musicians that are dying in their 60s because
They already
of
are.
how hard they lived their life early on. And
Yes.
their
They partied
bodies
so
just,
hard.
they shaved, decades.
Years, yes.
off their
it's
life.
True.
Is that me?
No. Stop
No,
it.
It could be me.
Well, it could be any of us, honestly.
No, not really. I'm really the only one that was like a total druggie and partier when I was young.
Well, I think we all imbibed excessively in alcohol, for sure. But I understand what you're saying. Well, let's just assume no, because they're all men that are dying. It's not women.
Yeah.
All the men are croaking in their 60s.
That's true.
They're just not very durable. They're just not durable.
Joan Jett and Pat Benatar are always available for the 80s shows.
Yes, they're always there. All right, so really quick, I'm going to condense a story, and you tell me your opinion when I'm done. Both of you probably read what I posted on Facebook about it, but I just want to quickly find out what you would have done. Because I'm not questioning what I did. I'm questioning why I did it. So maybe you can explain it to me. So this week, my daughter is in high school, and I pick her up every day after school because she refuses to get her permit yet. And it's something we're working on, but right now it's just not happening. So I pick her up every day. There's a gentleman who stands on the corner by the crosswalk wearing a sandwich board that says man and woman equal marriage. And he's basically anti-gay marriage. And he's not crazy in the sense that he doesn't look like a hobo. He's he's dressed in a button-up shirt and pants, and he's normal looking. But he just stands there and he's like chanting his man, woman, marriage, or whatever he says.
Asshole.
But he's on the sidewalk in front of the high school.
Right? And that's legal.
Yeah, which I know it's legal. So the first day it was on Monday, and I went, what the hell is that fool doing? And the thing is that a lot of kids, because of where it is, a lot of kids walk home. A lot of the high school kids. There's 40 or 50 kids that cross the crosswalk after school, and he's right there.
There's kids everywhere.
Everywhere. It's like a beehive.
Right.
So I pull in and I go, what the hell is that dude? And she's like, I don't know. He's, I was standing here waiting for you and I saw him, and nobody's taunting him. They're just like, what are you doing here? Kids. Cool, yeah. So the second day he's there, and at this point now, the LGBT groups of the high school, because they have several groups at the high school, and now they're all out there with their flags and their shirts, and there's a little group of like 10 or 15 kids saying love is love and it doesn't matter. And so now there's a little thing going on. Protest. Yes, now they're both anti-protesting. And I went, well, that's not surprising. I'm not at all surprised that the kids decided to rally and do this thing. So Daryl picked up her on Wednesday, and then he said, oh yeah, they were there, and there was like 30 kids now. Now it's becoming a real thing.
Well, and kids are relentless.
Kids are emotional.
Well, they're emotional, and they are passionate, and they will not.
They're like baby rattlesnakes.
Right?
They just don't know when to regulate. They just don't. And I'm not blaming the children.
No.
So I pick her up on Thursday, and now there is quite a scene. The man who is wearing the sandwich board is jumping up and down and trying to yell over the 30 to 40 people who are now on the corner on the school property yelling back at him. And of course, now it's gone viral. There are Snapchats and video of this whole thing going down. And I got mad. And I'm like, there are so many things that could go wrong right now. And so Malia's like, are you almost here? Get me out of here. And I'm like, all right. So I pick her up. And so when I picked her up, I was already on the phone with the school. And I think what made me mad was that there didn't seem to be any kind of control. Like, they were just letting it happen.
Like, where is an administrator? Where is someone?
The administrators were standing and observing. They were out there, which I did not know at the time when I called, because I called and I said, I am leaving this anonymously, but I am telling you that what is going down in front of the school, I just want to know what the rules are. Like, I want to know how this is going down and making sure that this doesn't turn into something. It's like freaking Westboro Baptist Church out there right now. And it is, to me, unacceptable that it's happening on a street corner on Madison Avenue where people drive through at high rates of speed, and there's children everywhere. Yes. And it's becoming like, it looked like a powder keg, is I think why I called. And I said, if I have to drive by on public land at 25 miles per hour in front of a school, then this can't possibly be completely legal. There's got to be something you can do about this. And I said, deal with it. And I said, and I don't want the standard memo that I'm going to get tonight saying we're well aware of your because I know that's what's going to happen, because that's what schools do. So I said, Malia, it was a voicemail. I didn't speak to a person. I promise.
Because
kids are like, why did you do that? And so
you're going to humiliate me.
We leave, and I said, you know what? That vice principal is going to blow me off. They're not.
Who is it?
I don't know. It was a female. The one that you hate is no longer there. He left.
Good for him.
Yes.
I was still going to slash his tires after 5 years.
Yeah, I don't even know what he's doing anymore, but I know who you're talking about. So then I still had something up my ass, and so I called the district, and I said, I want to speak to your supervisor.
The superintendent is in charge, by the way.
I said, I want to talk to the superintendent. And so there's a superintendent for high school specifically. So I somehow got through, and I got his assistant, Bonnie, who was very friendly. And I said, Bonnie, look, here's the thing. I don't want to make a complaint. I want someone to tell me what the law is and what the rules are when it comes to children and this protesting. And she's like, oh, well, what school is this? She asked innocently. And I said, well, it's Bella Vista. And she goes, oh, yes, we're well aware. And I said, really? So what's the deal then? If you're well aware, what are we doing about it? She goes, the district is working on a statement. I go, wrong answer. I said, I want to know what the rules are. I want to know what the law is. And I said, and I know the freedom of speech thing. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the fact that he's engaging with kids.
Right?
What's the fucking deal?
Right?
She's like, well, I will note your concern. I go, it's not a concern. I want the law. I want the rule.
Do you not know the answer? Is that it? Because if not, I need to talk to someone who knows.
Yeah, she goes, let me get your name and number, and I'll have someone call you back. So the sheriff called me. The Sacramento County Sheriff called me and said, we're well aware of this individual.
Scott Jones?
No, God, don't even.
Well,
Wash those words out of your mouth. No, it was the local sheriff that deals with the schools. And he said, he goes, well, you don't sound like an angry parent. I go, I'm not an angry parent. I said, I just want someone to tell me what the rules are, what the law is, so that when I see someone pull over and throw a punch at a child or this person, or someone gets pushed into the street, or if someone gets distracted and runs over 40 children, that I know that you guys were doing everything you could to make sure this thing stays stable, because it wasn't stable.
Right.
Why do I give a shit about anybody's kids? I don't. Not really. But what if Malia had to watch it happen? You know, what if somebody pulls a gun, or what if a mob starts? I mean, that's what it was so elevated. The emotions were so elevated because kids are like baby rattlesnakes. They have no control. They're angry. They're passionate. They're offended, you know, whatever. And then what happens when
exciting.
And what happens if a couple of conservative man-woman kids come out and start supporting this dude? What? And it would happen eventually, because everybody has their own feelings on the matter. So then I hung up with them, and when I drove by later, there was a sheriff there, and there was nary a person in sight. So they either broke up the chaos, or something happened. I don't know. I have no idea.
Kids will generally listen to you if you go out there and be like, look, you guys need to go. Go home. Go to where you're supposed to be.
Right.
And they will do what you say.
Right.
If you're an authoritative figure. This man, because he's an adult, he knows that he doesn't have to do shit.
That's
and he
right.
doesn't have to listen to anybody. So he's not going to go anywhere.
Right.
But the children, I think if there was enough faculty present and tell them to get the hell out of here, they will probably do so.
Yeah, but I guess my concern for me, because I told Malia, I said, you know, I didn't embarrass her because no one really knows it was me. But I said, the only way I can describe it is that, and I hate this term, so I don't use it often. I go, but I turned into a mama bear, and I don't know why. It's the weirdest thing.
Well, it's horrible.
I guess, but Paula, would you do that?
I definitely would have been concerned. And, you know, with all the riots that are going on across the country, I think that, especially being in high school, some of those kids are adults.
Yeah, that's
true. And it doesn't take a lot for people to become divisive.
Right.
And it can turn hateful very quickly. And I wouldn't want it around my kids.
Yeah, that's kind of my thing. It's like when your kid goes to school, you know they're going to be exposed to things that you may or may not agree with. And I'm not talking about the gay marriage part. I'm talking about just in general, you know, drugs, alcohol, the way they party, the way they hang out, sex, whatever, you know, opinions of all types they're going to encounter. And that's kind of what school and college is for. You know, they are exposed to other things, and they get to decide based on how they're raised at home what they want to embrace or reject. But that's not what this is. This is a physical safety issue for me, because and I kept telling the sheriff that. I said, dude, I don't care what his message is. This isn't about what he's saying.
But it is for them.
Well, yeah, that's true.
You have to understand that it is for them, and I'm sure if there were something that they could legally do to keep him from physically being on that part of wherever he is,
right,
they would, but they can't. So they don't want to run. If this ever makes it into the local media,
I know.
The last thing they want is to have somebody's rights being infringed
Well,
upon.
that's the thing, is that technically he's basically taunting these kids on a technicality,
because he can,
and they're literally looking at anything they can to say, you can't taunt children, you can't speak to children that aren't your children, or whatever. However, you can't approach kids. It's a safety issue. It's not even about your First Amendment rights. It's about this. And I told the dude, I go, look, I've been picking up my kids at this school for many, many years, like almost 10 years. Forever. And I've seen all walks of life. I've seen salespeople. I've seen prostitutes. I've seen drug addicts. I've seen people handing out Bibles. This is new. This is new, but I realize it's because of the climate of the world that we're going to take advantage of heightened emotions and we're going to create a scene. I said, but I really was hoping that the last bastion would be, let's leave the children alone. I mean, go do this at a college and see how successful you are. It's like, go to Sac State and do this. I mean, can you imagine if he did this in front of a middle school? The minivan moms would be in an uproar. They would surround him. They'd be like, get the fuck out of here! These are children! Hey, Hugs. As we say goodbye to summer, Amazon is the easiest way for you to say hello, fall, with everything from pumpkin spiced pretty much anything to boots to scarves and a lot of Halloween candy. If you go to Amazon.com, they'll have it for you. Not only will you save a ton of time going out and about in the crowds trying to get these items, it will be delivered directly to your door, and if you're a Prime member, free shipping. So check out the Ugly Mall, click through to support the Uggs, and prepare for the cool, lovely weather of the fall. Bye! So let's segue and talk about family, because I think it was last week or the week before, Paula, you were telling me that you were having some fiasco with Olivia and the school pictures. Let's catch Stephanie up really quickly.
Wait, is this the one with the glove, or is this a new photo?
No, this is new. Every year, there's a new drama with Olivia in photos. Right. First of all, she's incredibly vain. And second, she hates the way Paula does her hair for photo day. And so Olivia waits until Paula leaves the school and decides to do her own hair.
What, at school?
Yes. So please continue.
So, what had happened is even before then, Olivia recently got her ears pierced. She had taken off a sweatshirt, and when she did, it plucked off one of her earrings, and she lost the earring.
She couldn't find it.
So when she came home, she's just like, we need to put in new earrings. So when I put in new earrings, it's like she calls from the heavens to, save her, because
you're torturing me.
It's so traumatic.
Well, because when you have baby ear holes, the scar tissue builds up instantly.
I was thinking that already. I was like,
which is why it hurt.
It's trying to put it's like a pore of a strawberry. I mean, it's just tiny.
Yes.
And so I have a difficult time doing it. And plus, when they're brand new, I mean, they close up kind of fast.
Yeah, they do.
And so, she went half the day without an earring. So by the time she got home,
you got to push through. It's like breaking a hymen.
It is.
It really sucks.
So I finally got one earring through. And then I said, okay, I'm like, now your other earring, I said, let me take it out. This will be a lot easier. I said, because it's still in there. I said, let me take it out and put the other matching earring in. And she's like, no, I'm not going to let you. So she had 2 earrings that didn't match. And she refused to let me put in matching earrings because she said that they hurt too bad. And not to mention, I forgot to tell you, Jamie.
What?
Her front 2 teeth are so loose. One of them is hanging down so low. She refuses to pull it. It's turning gray.
Pull that thing out. Wait till she's asleep and then rip that thing out of her mouth.
I should, but
you have to give her some Benadryl and then just knock her ass out and then just go in there and pull it out. She won't even wake up.
Her teeth look ridiculous.
It's like a little jack-o'-lantern.
She looks weird.
Oh, no, she looks like those kids that don't get enough nutrition.
So on picture day, I pinned her hair back with the bobby pins on one side, and she's got her 2 mismatched earrings. She's got her teeth, and I said, well, I think you look really nice. And
Liar.
so she cried for the rest of the morning because she didn't like her hair.
Of course.
And I said, well, as soon as picture day is done, you can take your hair out. And so she came home from school. Her hair was out. And she said, well, my hair fell out before picture day happened.
Of course.
And I'm just like, what do you mean your hair fell out before picture day happened? She's like, I don't know. The bobby pins just fell out.
Just miraculously fell from my hair like there was a magnet.
And I'm like, Olivia, I secured those really hard and I hairsprayed them. So there's no reason those should have fallen out. And so she's like, but that's okay. She's like, I pinned him myself for picture day. So I'm like, well, what do you mean? What'd you do? She's like, well, I put one here and I put one here.
Oh, is that all strategically placed?
Definitely to make sure that the mismatched earrings were exposed.
Of course. Absolutely.
So now fast forward to like a couple days later, she comes out and she's got matching earrings on. And she's like, Mom, look, I did it myself.
Well,
and
good
I'm just
for
like, oh, good for you.
Congratulations.
Wouldn't have been nice if you
huge.
could have done that 2 days ago.
No kidding.
For some reason, something happened with the earring. I don't know what happened. She took one out and she couldn't get it back in. And she just started crying. And she's like, Mom, I just don't think I'm ready for earrings.
Oh, no.
And so now she took them out and she's letting her ear holes close up.
Oh my God, she gave up on it?
She doesn't want earrings.
You know what? I don't know about you, but I got my ears pierced when I was 7 or 8 and I couldn't deal with it. I let them close and then I got them redone again when I was 10. I just wasn't ready because they got infected all the time because, back in the 70s, parents were neglectful back then. So I had big infected, ear holes. And so there wasn't enough hydrogen peroxide to save me. So eventually Mom, of course, our mother's like, well, then take them out. If you can't take care of them, because that was the rule, if you can't take care of them yourself, then you can't have them.
God.
And so I had to take them out, and they hurt so bad because they were so infected.
Well, they probably feel good when they take them out. That's so
Finally.
funny that we're having this conversation because I literally was about to tell you guys how when I went to have surgery on Monday, they made me take all my jewelry out.
Right.
And I have my top cartilage is pierced.
Yeah.
My ears, both of them. And I always leave those in and think that they won't catch it. I don't even know why they make you take your jewelry off.
Probably from all the things they put on you.
Well, I'm wondering I was thinking if you went into cardiac arrest and they have to shock you with that thing.
Yeah, they'll burn your ear holes
Maybe
out.
The metal does something, yeah. So anyway.
Or maybe if they have to take an x-ray or something like that.
Yeah, isn't it like a microwave? If you have metal on, it'll catch on fire.
I don't know. I never knew the reason, but anyway, I was being defiant. I left it in, hoping they wouldn't notice. And of course, I had Nurse Ratchet come in and be like, "You gonna take that thing out?"
You're like, "What are you talking about? What do you mean?"
Fine. So
you're like, "Well, we can do it for you if you'd like." I'm like, "Ah."
So she hands me a little baby envelope, and I take it out, knowing full well that even the few hours that I'm going to have it out, it's probably going to close up or get close to it, so I'll have to push it through. It's not the first time, but
sure.
I don't enjoy it. So anyway, I come home. First thing I do is go in the bathroom to put in my piercing again, and of course it's a little bit tight and it hurt. Yeah,
I hate that,
especially in your cartilage because it's so sensitive.
Yeah.
Well, 3 days later, I'm walking around with like a giant blood bubble in my ear, and my ear was throbbing.
Is that what you were telling me when you got here?
Oh my God!
You know your ear's red.
Well, right. It was infected to the point to
Oh,
where
shit.
I was getting septic.
Stephanie.
But I was getting really sick.
Dip your ear in some.
I was soaking it in peroxide. I was just like, it's gonna get better. I was twisting it. It hurt so bad, Jamie. I was like, ah.
Did you finally just take the thing
I had to because yesterday, no matter what I did, my whole ear was like,
it had its own heart.
It was throbbing. Yes.
It was like, it always reminds, when that happens to an appendage and you feel the throbbing, it's almost
when they have their own pulse.
Yes, exactly. It's like, it always reminds me of those poor little mice where they grow ears on them. And you think bum, 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 bum. That's what it feels like. There's you have an actual foreign creature living on your body.
God. Can you imagine being one of those mice walking around like, hey, what's up? Yeah,
What'd you say?
A big ear on me.
Hello? What? Talk to the ear. Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, that is so awful.
It doesn't hurt them.
How do you know?
Well, I don't.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
So anyway, my point is that, what was I starting to say?
You were telling us about your throbbing ear and how you had a blood boil.
Yeah, so...
you have to go to Dr. Pimple Popper. Let her deal with
I know,
it.
right?
She'll do
I had
it.
to take it out. I was like, okay, it's got to come off, Stephanie, because you're getting sick. I was having, like, chills.
Did you lance it?
God, no.
Well, what did you
I just
do?
took the earring out.
Oh,
And
I thought you meant...
it literally, like, blew up. Like, not with pus. It was blood.
Oh, well, maybe you just had, like, a blood blister.
I have no idea what I had, but I'm telling you, I felt like an ant in a skillet before I took it out. Like, running around, like, I can't get away from
It's almost like an abscess.
It was awful. Yeah, so now, of course, it's closed up immediately.
Is it healing?
Yes. But
Thank
it hurt
God.
even to put this on this
Yeah, you have to be
morning.
careful.
So it's fine now. I finally could sleep on it last night.
Oh my God, what? You've had quite a week.
Ridiculous.
You have had quite a week. Okay,
Put some
segue.
Neosporin in there.
Get some, or go do what our mother says. Rub some aloe on it.
I didn't have any aloe.
Aloe.
Aloe. You know, she always has an aloe vera plant. You know, she'll just cut a leaf off for you, put it in a baggie, and send you home with it.
I know. She sent me home with like 25 basil leaves one time.
Jeez.
I got this at Esther's house.
That's how I got fresh basil.
Oh, of
She had, like,
course.
60 freaking leaves. And she's like, here, take
Take
that.
some of this basil.
Lasts
Make a
forever.
pesto.
Oh, no, it wasn't basil. What is it? Bay leaf.
Oh, Jesus. You need one bay leaf a year. What are you
Yeah,
supposed to do?
really.
Put those in the freezer.
I did.
Okay, good.
And they lasted a year.
They last forever. So did you get the photos back yet, Paula?
No. Oh, no. I thought. Sorry.
Yeah.
No. we
Stephanie,
have
did you
not
get the
gotten
photo of your
pictures
throbbing
yet.
ear back? Who
I
are we
didn't know what
talking to?
I didn't know what we were taking pictures of. Okay.
Your
no.
child with the gray tooth.
No, I have not gotten the pictures back, and so I just don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to buy them.
Listen, if as
Why do
long
you have to buy them?
because it's something you have to recall. You have to go. Remember when you refused to take your tooth out and it's gray and dangling and people can see the roots?
just like I had to buy the pictures last year of her with one glove on.
Paula, those are the best pictures you've ever had.
I know. That's why she's going to continue to buy these because clearly she's got a Calvin on her hands.
God, every year it's going to be something.
I remember one year
Lucky, Paula.
Tyler.
I'm concerned about her senior portraits.
Oh my God. Well, listen.
By the time you get to that age.
Tyler put like a whole can of gel in his hair one year because he wanted to have it slicked back because he didn't want, and he has a little cowlick, so he didn't want to stick up. So he literally took like 2 palms of gel, like that pink old school 80s gel.
Oh, like Depp.
Elvised it back. Yeah, it was Depp. And he Elvised his hair back. And I said, what are we doing today? What is this? He goes, well, I don't want the thing to stick up. It's so funny how kids develop this vanity. It's
like a helmet.
At like 2nd and 3rd grade. They just don't want it. He used to do the thing where he'd stick his tongue out and make weird faces. And the photographer was like, listen, we're not doing that today. Okay. You need to just smile for the camera.
So cute.
Actually, the photographer
They're so
did tell Olivia to smile nicely.
Oh, awesome. So that should look good.
I don't know what she was doing.
Well-
I think she had her chin tucked into her neck and she
Oh,
was like,
She's
God.
well, you know, she's one of those people. She's like, I know how to do it. I know how I look. You know, they're like, I'm not listening to you. Because, you know, and I used to hate it when they would tilt your freaking head
I know,
like a
right?
90-degree angle and say, okay, now look up and smile. It's like, ooh, you look like a dork.
well, I think she thinks that because it's her photo, she should be able to do whatever she wants.
I own this photo.
My parents are buying this. You're just a monkey working for us.
Right?
Exactly.
Just press the button and let me do what I'm
Press the
doing.
button and let me decide.
Well, you know, she's quite the connoisseur with her iPad. I don't know if Stephanie is aware of her skills of photographing.
Oh,
She
I can only imagine.
she walks around with this.
She makes surprise videos that you don't know you're being that
Yes.
are being taken. Oh, this is my son.
Yeah.
I just discovered it.
Oh, that he takes photos of you when you're not paying
And
attention?
videos.
Oh,
And I
that's
showed-
inappropriate.
I showed Jerry. Oh my god, it was so funny. He's like, "What? What? Who took that? Delete that immediately."
Oh God, that's not. Well, I told you we watched them.
Like, I love it. It's funny.
It's hilarious. They're funny
You
because
have 16 chins in this one book.
well, Olivia and Ryan came over to stay with us about a month ago because Paula had her reunion, and so we watched them. And you know, they don't go anywhere without their iPad because you know it keeps them busy if they're bored. Anyways, so Olivia, who also has a wicked sense of humor, as we all know, she sets up her iPad inconspicuously and takes videos, and she likes to do the speed video where everything goes fast motion.
Oh,
so she's videoing her uncle Daryl blowing up her mattress that she's going to sleep on for the evening. So I walk by and I'm talking to him and we're like da da da, and I don't know about you, but I don't have the best posture when I'm just talking to someone in my own home braless. Right. And so I walk by, and of course Olivia she's spying with her little eyes like, oh, they don't even she doesn't even know. Now Daryl knew, but he had kind of forgotten because he doesn't have the hang-ups that I do.
Right.
So I walk by, I go, and I see the screen, I go, what is this? And she's like, oh, I'm just videoing Uncle Daryl do the bed. Now, knowing full well that I've been in it. And I go, that is inappropriate. Turn it off. and Daryl turns to me, he goes, inappropriate?
Really?
And I'm like, yes. And I'm like, delete it immediately.
Right?
Immediately. And I told Paula, I said, because she's so she doesn't care. She's like, oh, she does it all the time. I'm like, you wouldn't say that if you saw some of the photos I did of you and your husband. Okay? I'm like, God. You're sitting on the toilet, Paula. You're literally sitting on the toilet.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Not going to the bathroom, just sitting.
She was just sitting on it, but still, I wouldn't want a photo of me sitting on the toilet, doing my makeup or whatever.
Yeah.
God.
I have to review Jeff's tablet too because I do.
She goes, she doesn't let anyone see anything. I go, oh, I didn't realize a 7-year-old had that much power. How awesome! I wish I had that much power. Anyway, let's talk about Halloween just briefly.
Please, briefly, because I literally hate this this holiday.
Does Jeff trick or treat?
Yes, but I'm probably under protest for me.
You don't like to do it?
I'm not a fan of anything Halloween. I think
really?
It's stupid. I think it is literally the most pagan. I don't get it. I don't understand why people celebrate dead people and why they want to look like dead people and
yeah.
why you want to make your kids look scary with blood and then you get candy from strangers that I don't even let my child eat because I don't know. There's so many weirdos in the world. So what is the point?
A lot of people take with their little ones to like their preschool or the mall or something where it can be a little more controlled. I've never been comfortable with the trick-or-treating in the neighborhood thing, but luckily we live in a really nice neighborhood and we know everyone, so that's a little different. Plus our kids don't trick-or-treat anymore.
We do too, but but
it's just not your fave.
Not only that, but I mean, even people are weird. You just don't know they're weird.
Until Halloween.
Well, maybe.
Well, Paula, you have 2 kids who are in prime trick-or-treating costume age. Has there been some decisions made?
Well, the thing is we don't really know our neighborhood since this is going to be our first Halloween.
Yes.
But I started decorating already, doing like the fake spider webs. And I mean, our Halloween decorations are very tame. It's like, a happy little witch and a happy pumpkin and, it's a Hallmark Halloween.
Well, don't let me, whatever I said, everyone loves Halloween.
I don't love it.
I'm the only one who's so like.
I don't love it, but I do like to take advantage of the wigs. I love wearing wigs. I think it's fun.
I already bought my costume, actually. I don't know why this year I decided to go all out.
What did you get?
I'm going to be Poison Ivy.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
Are you going to do the green face and everything?
No, it comes with like a little green eye patch thing.
Or you're going to do the big, so you're going to do the big green glitter eye and and then you have to do the sparkly orangey red lips.
Yes.
That's good.
And then it actually comes with nylons that have like green ivy leaves in them.
That's cute.
Where did you buy it on Amazon?
Where did you get this?
I bought this on I think it's like buycostumes.com or something like that.
Have you received it?
No, I'll get it on the 12th.
Well, hopefully it's what you expect.
What are the kids going to be?
I don't know. We haven't really talked about it. I mean, Olivia said she wants to be some sort of princess, and then Ryan keeps changing his mind. He says, he's going to be it, and I'm like, you are not.
Oh,
and he's just
for
like,
God's
no, I'm
sake.
Not. I'm like, you're too scared to be that. He's like, yeah, I know.
I'd scare myself. I saw it,
I want to see
I
it.
know.
I told you.
That's the thing that scares me this year. I'm fine when it's like normal kids and stuff, but when teenagers go out there, I get really pissed.
Yeah.
Because then they're usually dressed up as something really scary or really gory or
they're not dressed up at all. They just have the biggest pillowcase they could find.
They think my size alone should grant you to give me a handful of your candy.
Yeah, and I always look and I'm like, whatever.
It's so weird because I have friends who live in the neighborhoods where a lot of young families are, and they go through like 6 bags of candy. candy. It's insane. We never do.
Jerry's like, Stephanie, I don't know why I leave you in charge of passing out the candy, because I'm like, the candy's gone within like the first hour, because they come to the door, the little tiny ones.
And you give them a handful.
They're so cute. I was like,
I do
my
too.
God, you are adorable. So
I give handfuls too. I thought people...
Here, you want some? Yeah.
I always give handfuls of candy. I never give just one baby Kit Kat.
I'm starting to get a reputation, because this will be our 4th year at our house. And the kids are the same kids, but they're just getting bigger. Yeah. And they're like, yeah, this lady always gives hella candy.
I know. Like, that's how it used to be at our old house, where, I mean, we literally went through, like, we would buy pretty much, like, 6 to 8 bags, because...
And why are they $15 a bag?
Because it's
Has
chocolate.
candy always been that expensive?
Ridiculous.
It's expensive. Yeah.
And we literally had to wait until the week of Halloween to buy them, because if we bought it too soon, we would eat it.
I have to tell you that Daryl and I went to the grocery store hungry. We bought a 200-piece bag of candy, and it had all of our favorites in it.
$20 bag.
It was a $20 bag, and so there is like a Ziploc bag left of like Jolly Rancher sour apple, because no one else eats those.
Nobody eats the Jolly Ranchers.
No, all the chocolate's gone, all the Twizzlers are gone, and by the way, I hate Twizzler.
I do too.
I only like Red Vine. Daryl eats the Twizzler, and then the baby Kit Kats, and of course the Reese's peanut butter cups were gone immediately because I ate all of them.
Oh my gosh.
I love them so much. And I'm like, I'm such a fat pig. Why did I buy this candy?
What do you mean? I have a blockage in my heart.
And then I dug through, and I'm like, oh, thank God, they're gone. I can't eat anymore. I was so glad, because I clearly have no control. So,
well, they're right there.
So, and the thing is that I put, what happens is like,
Paula, can you eat candy?
Yeah, I can eat like straight chocolate,
like Hershey,
or like things that are like chocolate and peanut butter. Then that's okay.
Oh, that's good. So you can have Reese's peanut butter cups.
Yeah, I can. And actually I can have Snickers too.
Oh, that's cool. I don't mind Snickers. But yeah, I when we ever have a birthday and we buy these birthday cakes, we never go through them. No one eats cake anymore.
I don't like cake.
I love cake. And so
really?
I do.
Well, it depends on what kind.
Well,
are you getting a Torre, or are you talking like Rayleigh's sheet cake?
Rayleigh's sheet cake, which is the best. It has the big cheap frosting, and oh my God, it's so good. So anyway, we buy it, and everybody eats like a baby slice, and I'm like, yeah, everybody, we'll just have a baby slice, and then everybody leaves and I get a fork. And I'm just like, you guys are crazy, this is delicious. And so I'm eating it, and then 2 days will pass, and I'm literally self-cutting, working out like 2 hours a day, trying to work off all this fucking cake that I've been eating. So I come downstairs after dinner, and I'm like, listen, I always make this announcement. I swear to God, it's going to be on my gravestone. I will, listen, if you don't eat this cake, I'm putting Dawn liquid soap on it, and I'm throwing it away, because even in the garbage, I would do it. So get it out of here. And they're
Who did that? That was on a movie.
It was on Sex and the City, but it works.
Miranda, when she had the chocolate
works,
cake.
you guys. It works. You won't eat it. And so
yeah, I'd probably have to put it down the garbage disposal.
I've never eaten cake out of the garbage, but it's something that would cross my mind if it wasn't touching anything. So I have to literally throw it in the big can, and I have absolutely put it down the garbage disposal. I am a cake fool when it comes.
Cakeaholic.
I am. I love cake so bad. So, do you like cake? I just can't do it. I can't have it in the house. And and I'm so good about it usually. But whenever a birthday comes, I'm like, oh God, here we go. Here it comes, the week of hell of eating forks of cake.
Oh my God, I can't believe I've known you my whole life.
When no one's home. Well, I figure if I publicly put it out there that I eat cake, when no one's home, I'll remember. And
my name is Jamie, and I eat cake.
And I eat cake with a fork when no one's home. It's like
we all have done weird things. I swear to God, I act like I'm like I act like I look like a waif when I actually look like a whale. And then as soon as Jerry leaves, I'm like, I've already had like 3 plans in my mind of what
what am I going to eat next? Well, I think that the classic,
and you weren't. Kids sucks, by the way, because they call you out on crap when you don't expect it. Sorry, I didn't mean to
Oh my God, it's so true.
Jeff the other day is like, Mom, why did you have my Doritos on your sandwich the other day? I looked at him, I'm like, really?
Calling you out on the Dorito?
I saw an orange thing sticking out of your sandwich. I was like, I hate you.
You're the worst child. Why did I give you life?
Like, what? I was like, he's crazy.
I don't know what he's talking about. That is so true.
Well, I want a Dorito sandwich too, but I don't want all the other stuff you had on there.
Like, whatever, dude. No, the classic Stephanie story as far as food goes is when you were in the grocery store and you took a bite out of a raw piece of tuna. Did you eat the plastic too, or did you actually open it and take a bite?
I opened it.
That's unbelievable.
And you know what? It was really unsatisfying because
no soy,
right, and no wasabi.
No wasabi.
Because I have to
Excuse me, I would like to eat this like a vampire in the grocery store. Can I have some soy sauce?
No, and it wasn't in the store. It was in my car.
It was in the parking lot.
Oh, I thought you were walking around.
No, I wasn't.
Jerry was putting the cart away.
So you did it when you were alone. See what we do when no one knows looking? God only knows what you do, Paula.
Who knows?
She can't eat anything, but she can't eat anything.
You're alone all the time. You have 2 children.
Well, they go to school, but I know what you're saying.
School, but
I don't know, man. I'm just, cake has to cease to exist for me to, not have a big ass. It's just the only thing.
Mine goes to my stomach.
No kidding. All right, well, let's do our ugly and awkward moments of the week.
Okay, so I was picking Olivia up from school, and Ryan was homesick for some reason. And so it was just me and Olivia, and I was getting ready to turn right from a neighborhood street onto like a really busy street. There was cars that just kept coming, and it wasn't safe to go. And it's like I probably could have gone if I like peeled out and like gunned it.
Yeah.
Sure.
But I had Olivia in the car. We just picked her up from school. It was kind of like I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to wait till it's safe. Well, this car behind me honked, and I'm just like, oh, okay. I'm like, well, I understand you want me to go. I would like to go as well, but there's cars coming, and I'm not going to peel out, so I'm just going to sit here and wait until it's safe.
Sure.
So I'm sitting here waiting, and 30 seconds goes by, which seems like
an hour,
20 minutes.
Yes.
And then he honked at me again. And so I turned around, and Olivia's sitting in the middle seat, and I'm just held up both my fingers. And I said, I'll fucking go when I fucking feel like it, you motherfucker! And I said, and I'm like, you see this? And so I held up my fingers. And so then I turned around, waited till it was safe, and then I went.
And then waited a little longer?
No, I didn't wait any longer.
Like, I'm just adjusting the mirror.
I wasn't trying to, hold up the cars or anything, because, there's a line of cars, because, school just got out.
Right.
So I wasn't trying to be like an ass, but I was just pissed, because I'm just like, why are you honking at me?
I hate people.
You think that's going to make me go faster?
They don't know you.
Perhaps.
But when I was doing it, Olivia's eyes were like the size of dinner plates.
She's like, oh my God, mother.
So I told her, I'm like, Olivia, I'm sorry.
Don't ever
I
do
used
that.
those words, and I did that with my fingers.
Yeah,
So
she's like, that's all right, Mom.
she's like,
just
"It's
another
okay,
day."
Mom." She's like, I don't know why he was honking at you like that.
Yeah.
She
She
says
defended you.
things.
What's funny is whenever I'm driving and I literally have to decide to drive at a slower pace.
I do too.
And not be aggressive. Daryl and I get in some of our worst fights in the car because he drives like an old man, and it pisses me off. I literally want to rip my skin off. And he'll sit there and he'll take too long. I'm like, would you fucking go? And he's like, it is not safe yet. I'm like, it's been safe for 30 seconds. That thing on the right is the gas. Push it.
Use it.
He's like, I know how to drive. And I'm like, no, you don't.
Try it with someone who's 61 years old, who apparently knows because they've been driving since the dinosaur age.
They know how to do everything.
I know nothing, and they know everything. And
He's like, he goes, you're so aggressive. And then he gets this thing where he gets like butthurt. He's like, you're so aggressive. And I'm like,
honey, I'm worried about you. Why do you get so upset?
I go, I am not aggressive, but this world gives 0 fucks about nice people. Okay. You have to drive like an animal to survive. I'm like, I will survive.
You're like Victor. Victor thinks everything's a race. And I'm just like, why are you in such a damn hurry?
Your husband, I can't take the way he drives either.
Well, the thing is that
scares me.
I don't drive fast, but I am aggressive. I don't wait for people who are not sure what to do. I'm like, if you're not sure, I'm going. I'm taking advantage of your lack of decisions.
That's me.
And I think that's the problem with me. But I would be with you. I'd be like, hey, shut up. I would have been mad. I would have been mad too. All right, Stephanie.
Oh, right. Okay. So
very ugly, Paula.
Mine happened, yes, at one of my numerous medical appointments that I've had in the last couple of weeks. I had a test that I had never had done before. And I get very weird when I'm nervous.
Well, we all do. We talk too much.
I get immediately awkward. Like, I'm awkward before I even get in the car to drive to her.
All of a sudden, you're a gazelle. Or a giraffe.
Oh, God, Jamie. I can feel it, too.
Oh, God. You're like, my body decided to betray me.
I just feel weird. Like, I can't walk right.
You're
I'm
all left feet.
Funny.
Oh,
jeez. Receptionist, I'm just like shit.
My shoes just grew 3 sizes.
Yeah.
I just feel weird and ugly and horrible.
You look like a hyena.
Exactly. So I go in, and the cutest nurse comes in, and she's going to actually do the test, and she's very pregnant, and she's adorable. And
oh, God. The X Factor.
well,
I don't know what that feels like. I don't know what it's like to be cute and pregnant.
She was like 25.
I hate her already. Damn it.
She looked amazing. And so I was grateful that, because I knew, pregnant women don't mind chatting about.
No, they're excited.
Yeah, and it was just her and I in the room. So
although if you had talked to me when I was pregnant with my son, you would not have gotten an excited thing
That's
at
true,
all.
me too.
I would have been like, really? Are you looking? I'm not looking forward to it, but all right, whatever.
Yeah, that was me with my last one. Yeah.
Yes.
So anyway, she's doing her thing and hooking me up and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, so when are you due? And she's like, January 30th or something like that. Why did I look at her and be like, are you having twins?
Oh my God.
I'm such a fucking moron.
Oh my
this
God.
happened weeks ago, and I have not been able to stop thinking about it.
You've been punishing yourself for a week. I
was
know.
like, what is wrong with you?
Like, why would you say that?
God, what the? She's like, no, I know. She's like, I don't know why I've gotten. And she wasn't fat, like not.
It was just all belly,
all baby.
Yes,
which is maybe why she looks so much more pregnant.
Yes,
but I shoot myself in the head at that moment. It was too late.
You're like, I've already said it. They're out there. The words are floating.
It's gone.
And you're like, I hate myself.
I hate myself. And then when you say something like that,
you have to try to make it worse.
No, I didn't.
See, that's what I do.
No, I didn't. Well, I just said, I'm like, well, I did. I was like, well, you look amazing. I'm like, I didn't mean, I just was.
I didn't mean you look like a fat pig. Right? I was just trying to say.
That's what she knew immediately that I was like, I'm such an asshole. I'm so sorry.
It's like, would you like a shovel to dig yourself deeper?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, don't worry. I know what she was thinking because I have no bra on, no shirt. I have a paper vest on. And she's like, that's all right, old lady.
That's all right, woman who might have a heart attack. Sure.
And you're 20 pounds overweight.
Oh, my God.
I don't take your insults to heart.
It's all right.
You.
In mine, she's like, that's all right, honey. This is going away in 3 months, but I can't say the same for you and your ass.
I'll be back in my size 5 jeans.
Yeah. Nursing my child.
I mean, I'm sure she had a million things going through her head of things she could have said to me had she not been at work. And I wasn't at work.
Not only that, but it's like, let's remember why we're here, shall we?
Right? So, yes. It was
oh, my God.
It was so awkward.
You're like, I'm sorry.
I felt like an ugly sow after that. I was like,
God.
You're not an ugly sow, but I know what you're saying.
But you know what I mean?
Yes, of course. Of course.
Because she doesn't know me and she doesn't know that my anxiety just literally takes over my body.
I know.
She probably was just thinking I was some old stupid bitch. Like, who the fuck do you think you are saying that to me? And it's like, I know. I'm sorry. I'm just really nervous.
I don't know. Yeah, it's like it could be worse. Trust me.
It's my other brain thinking and talking for me at this moment.
It's my anxiety. I don't know. Well, see, that's the problem for me is that I would have said something and then I would have continued to make it worse. Because that's what I do.
Justify. Look, I'm not really trying to be an asshole.
Oh my God! It's like I'm not saying you're fat, but. And then that butt would have been, it would have been on.
It's just your belly is so big. And
No, I just said the
Or then you start to
you look amazing. I'm like, you really look, and she did look amazing, and I meant that.
Like, I meant to say that. I don't know.
You look like a giant cow.
I don't know why those words didn't escape my lips, but it was everything but that. So now you're going to punish yourself for the next 5 years.
I've been doing it forever. Yeah.
Almost like you want to go and send her a card or something.
Well, and I'm like, this is my primary care physician.
Oh, so you get to see her again
all the time.
How exciting for you!
So she's always going to remember 3 months from now when she's back to being 100 pounds. Oh, yes. Here's that fat sow that came in and told me I was huge. When I was pregnant.
Right. So anyway, my awkward moment was homecoming for Malia, my junior daughter, was a couple of weeks ago. And the thing to do is there's a really beautiful bridge that crosses over the American River. It's gorgeous. And
Sunrise Bridge?
No, it's it's this little red footbridge over here. I can't remember. It's not Sunrise. It's the one behind it.
We're talking about.
Everybody likes to get their pictures done there because it's so pretty. Now this year, and I don't even want to get into it because it's not that big of a deal, but Malia's date basically dropped out like at the last minute.
What?
Yeah, he doesn't go to the school. And I just, and I told her a while ago, I said, I don't think this dude's going to come through for you. And she's like, oh, he will. And I'm like, okay, he didn't. And he's literally ghosted her. Like, literally ghosted her.
What a dick.
And of course, he has friends at the school, and they're like, yeah, dude, I don't know, man. He doesn't seem to have his phone. I'm like, fucking liar. I'm like, God, welcome to the world of men.
Yes, well, you know what?
They'll do that shit.
Douchebag before.
That's what I said. And of course, Daryl's like, who's this guy? And I'm like,
Yeah, right.
He's not worth it. And so anyway, so she ended up going with some girlfriends, and she did have some other options, but she didn't want to change her plans. She would rather not go with a guy at this point because she had decided to make plans with these other ladies. And so we all went to the bridge, and I thought it was a very remote option. There were over 50 people with their kids getting their pictures taken.
God.
It was a mass of people.
Like, can I just have this little space right here without you being in it?
No, everybody was taking turns. We were all being really nice because everybody looked pretty, and it was all the same school, and it was like, oh my God, you're going, look at your dress. It was really cute.
Yeah. That's cute.
So I'm standing there now. I immediately recognize this woman, but I'm like, I know her kid doesn't go to this school because I know where her son goes because we're friends on Facebook. We went to high school together. And I'm like, it's so weird when I see people I went to high school with. And we were friends. We were friends, not like hang out, let's go to people's houses friends.
Like, hey, how's it going?
But we had classes together. I adored her. Her and her best friend were hilarious. But when you see someone that you haven't seen in 30-something years, it's a little weird. But with Facebook, it doesn't seem like it's been 30 years.
Right.
Now, she looks the same. She's beautiful. Everything. There's nothing like that. However, I, on the other hand, had lived in Clip for the whole day because it was homecoming and we were doing all these other things. So I hadn't even showered yet. And I was like, fuck. And I was wearing like my old Bambi sweatshirt and like workout.
Bambi sweatshirt?
Yes, it's cute. And there's like these workout capri pants. I mean, look. I was not at my best. First of all, I did not expect the crowds.
Right.
And I had like minimal makeup on.
This place, by the way, is like 5 minutes from your house.
Yeah, we could have walked there.
Yeah.
We didn't because they all had high heels
Hell
on.
no.
So I was like, do I tap her on the shoulder and say hello, or what do I do?
Did she notice you?
Yes, because one of Malia's friends was going to homecoming with her son.
Nice.
So we were in the same group.
So you had to.
So we had to just talk to each other. And I mean, it's just awkward for everybody, but she turns around and she goes, I thought I recognized you. I'm like, hi, Erica. And so we're talking.
Oh.
So anyway, I was like, oh my God, how are you? Blah, blah, blah. So we started talking. And of course, you immediately talk about your high school experiences. And I said,
what you have in common.
Right. And so I said, well, how are you? And, and I keep up with what she does on Facebook. So I asked her about a few things, about her husband, blah, blah, blah. She goes, well, I actually recognize your husband more because you really don't like to take pictures. And I said, well, you are correct. You are correct. She goes, it was funny. I recognized your husband first. I'm like, well, either I've changed dramatically and I look worse and you didn't know. Yes. I'm thinking, or you're like, wow, you really have changed, Jamie. Wow. And so she's like, well, I recognize your husband. I'm like, I really don't know how to take that. And I said, I don't go to the reunions. I hated most people in high school, and that's the truth.
I hate them more now.
If I'm friends with them on Facebook, I see them. I've seen most of those people in person, and I love it. And those are the people I like to see. And no, outside of that, if I'm not contacting you on social media, fuck off and die. Right. I hated you then, and you know it. So whatever. So anyway, I said this looking in her beautiful blue eyes. I said, yeah, I didn't have any friends in high school. I only knew like 2 people.
That's not even true.
And she's looking at me and she blinks. And I said, I mean, when I started high school, obviously you and I were friends. And she's like, right, we were. And I said, I didn't mean that. I said, I meant when I started high school. I mean, when I was 14.
Hello, I'm Jamie.
Hello, I'm Jamie. You don't recognize me because I look like total shit now. But
the most awkward person on the planet.
And but she smiled and blinked. And I said, no, I mean before, not now. I couldn't. I felt like
you can't recover.
I felt like Peter Sellers in the Pink Panther. Like, no, what I mean is before, from the last time previously. And she didn't even grant me the courtesy of like, yeah, I know what you meant. She's like
she was not going to let you off the hook.
Nope.
Bitch.
And I said, Okay. So, I mean, and then her husband, who was just so nice, he came and said, because, you know, you only need 2 friends in the world. And I'm like, right? And I'm like, well, it was really nice to see you.
Where was Daryl?
Behind me.
Help.
Taking pictures. Oh, please. He throws me under the bus all the fucking time. He does not care. He loves it. He's like, oh, she's so awkward. This is what she gets for being mean to me and making me sound like a gorilla every time she says my name. I'm like, ugh. Seriously.
Gosh.
I think it's a 3-way tie, y'all. I really do. Who do you think was better, really? Anyone?
Wait,
Anyone?
I'm trying to. I already forgot what Paula's was.
Well, you offended a pregnant lady. She flipped off someone.
I said the F word 3 times in front of Olivia.
You think?
I'm pretty sure Jamie has this one because she was face to face with someone she knew. And
that was a friend, and then she said, I didn't have any friends.
I couldn't believe it. I felt awful. I'm like, I didn't mean you. And you and I both know you weren't the friend, so I wasn't really friends with you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. Well, we should end the show. Okay. And then we can keep talking if we want.
Okay, well, thanks everybody for joining us. Thank you, Stephanie, for coming along.
You need to come in more often.
I love it when Paula's with us.
I know, it's super fun.
Like Jamie said, our heart and soul and everything goes out to our friends in Vegas and Puerto Rico as well. Mm-hmm. Just because we're not talking about you doesn't mean we're not thinking about you. Mm-hmm. We just try and provide a little source of entertainment,
little escape.
That is escape from what everybody already, is talking about. Mm-hmm. So
definitely.
Please be sure to shop our Avon links and our Amazon links. It is time to start thinking about getting a Halloween costume. And I know that Amazon has plenty of options for you to select. So go ahead and go to Amazon.com via our Uglee Truth website. If nobody has anything else, I guess that's it.
That's it.
So, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
That's a wrap. But make sure to watch your podcast feed for all the screw-ups and edits from this episode and what we call Ugly Cuts. And then we'll have a brand new full episode for you next week. Thanks for listening and sharing the show. See you next time on The Uglee Truth.